Again, it would be great if I unmute. I mute this stuff just so I don't get like ads and stuff.
So Genshin uploaded a developer insight post describing some of the
Nice.
background.
Okay, someone can read it to me like I'm a little baby, and I'm very happy.
Kind of got a running gag.
I just need a blanket.
Xiao, but I don't. I already thought he was cool, and this info made me like his character even more. In this video, I'm going to be summarizing the most important parts of the post, as well as providing additional research and some of my own opinions. The first part talks about cultural symbolism and is written by Zhang Yuan from the creative concept and writing department. He says that the first step to creating a character is defining their core, which includes things like their personality and role in the game's story. This is when the dev team establishes what makes the character different from the rest of the cast, allowing them to stand out and give a striking impression. This core acts as a guide to help with the rest of the design process. Despite being the 11th leeway character to be released, Xiao was actually one of the first to be designed by an employee named Cece.
Fantastic job.
He is also the one who designed Honkai Vector's protagonist, Kiana. His original intention was to depict Xiao as a young character. As progress was made, the art team envisioned the idea of a young man of great beauty. Meanwhile, the creative concept and writing team hoped him to be a beautiful adept.
To be proven right. Oh, to be proven right.
The two ideas were able to align seamlessly, giving Xiao the identity of a mighty and
there you go.
Adeptus. After the foundation is established, the next thing to be decided is surprisingly the constellation. No, not the upgrades for getting duplicates, the actual constellation itself. Although most people overlook them, you can easily tell that there's a lot of care put into designing
Which is
them.
sick.
Xiao's lore includes the physical toll taken on him due to killing. This parallels one of the 12 heavenly generals from Buddhism, Makila, who is associated with the animal known as the Garuda from Indian religion. Makila ate evil dragons, until one day the poison from a dragon he consumed killed him. At some later point in Chinese religion, the Garuda and the Chinese mythological bird known as the Pang merge into the idea of the Jin Shi Pang Wang Yao. This icon would become the basis for the visual aspect of Xiao's constellation. Its English name, Alatus Nemeseos, comes from the Latin word for winged, and Xiao's role as the nemesis
It also
of
like
evil.
makes sense like in that sense because it's like Xiao like is a person who like is constantly in pain from all the stuff that he's done and all the evil that he's destroyed, you know?
Alatus also happens to be Xiao's Yaksha name in his lore. Now this paragraph talking about Chinese folklore is a bit hard to follow, but I believe that what it is saying is that Xiao's name and identity come from two different parts of ancient Chinese texts. According to the Chinese religion known as Taoism, there is a group of 5 deities known as the Wuxian.
Tag yourself.
One of them, the Sanyan Wuxian, refers to the guardian deity Huaguang Tianwang. This was the inspiration for Xiao's identity as a guardian adeptus. Conversely, there are also 5 evil deities called the Wu Tong, one of which includes the one-legged, people-eating, mountain-dwelling demon named Shan Xiao. The Chinese character for Xiao, literally translating to demon, comes from this. It is especially fitting considering the Wu Tong were characterized by disguising themselves as handsome gentlemen. These inspirations became the dev team's foundation for the character's development and other
so like he's an unbelievably beautiful character. He is handsome as heck. I was right, by the way. This proves myself. I was always right. Not that anyone disagreed, but like the idea that like, you know, he has like his own inner demons that are just that are like sometimes like people don't. I found some people might not take it seriously because he is so cute.
To further build on Xiao's agile combat style supported by his animal vision, his kit was designed around the idea of the Yaksha from Buddhism, which is a spirit that is connected to the elements. Traditional stories about guardian Yaksha follow the archetype of a malevolent spirit on a path towards goodness. This
so cool.
Inspired Xiao's lore, which heavily focuses on his life's rebirth.
Yes.
Furthermore, another Chinese word for Yaksha is Jieji Gui, containing the characters for swift, nimble, and spirit. This relates to Xiao's physical agility, adding another layer of cultural significance. Xiao as a character is a fusion of various cultural inspirations, and in a way, he is a reflection
Taoism,
of
Buddhism, traditional martial arts, okay?
Xiao's personality would be the next order of business. They knew they wanted him to be a warrior, so they decided he would be fighting against the remnants of gods which can never be completely destroyed. MiHoYo's decision to release Xiao during the Lantern Rite is in reference to the Chinese custom of driving away evil spirits at the new year. Like mentioned before, a majority of Xiao's lore focuses on his suffering caused by a life of killing.
We learned about this during his story quest as well.
An important part of his gameplay with his elemental burst, Bane of all evil. Xiao puts on his Yaksha mask and greatly increases his combat capability.
Lament, greatest move in the history of video games.
And extensive battle experience. However, the karma from the pain Xiao has caused materializes in the form of his health slowly draining. I think it's really cool that character lore is taken into account when designing character gameplay. It's not like the lore and gameplay are done separately.
And it's also a thing where like, you know, a lot of people be like, oh, I know more about this character, so I picked this character. And like, you know, when people sometimes like people like Calvin, I pick characters based on like the story, and it's like I can't do that yet because I don't know all their stories yet. To me, Xiao is just an amazing character, like because of his design. But then like learning like more and more as we go through Genshin, like a lot of the designs are tailored to the character. And I've said this like even like in small things, they are definitely tailored to the character.
Definitely makes the character feel
100%.
more complete overall. The last main piece of Xiao's personality is how he suppresses his own emotions. Xiao works tirelessly to protect humankind, but he does not dare interact with them because he is so different from them. He is curious, but he just doesn't feel like he could fit in. This loneliness has caused time to stand still, leading him to have a very young mentality, even to this day.
There you go.
Now, moving on to the visual elements written by D and SS from the art team who created Xiao's concept art. His initial design is not too far off from what we have.
They should release this. That's pretty cool. I love his regular design will always be who Xiao is, but the red is so cool as well, isn't it?
Today, but there are some very key differences. Before, he was shirtless.
I didn't even notice he was shirtless. Oh my god. Release this design. You have one day. We're not continuing the video until you release this design. Release this design. Okay, I'm calling the president. Hello? Yes. No. No. Yeah, no, yeah. What do you mean I can't call you about a design? What do you mean you have important stuff to do? I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture of it. I'll send you... No, it's for real this time. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me in front. I'm doing a react show. You're embarrassing me. Okay, yeah. Thanks for nothing. He said he's going to try and get it released. Yeah. Editor, edit that part out, by the way. I love it. It's like, I'm sorry for pausing again, but like, it's such a cool design. And like, I love the alt design. Like, his main design, by the way, is amazing to me. It's always going to be better. But I love the idea of like, oh, and yeah, it has the same thing as Ganyu here. Like, I love the red. It looks so cool.
Detail on Ganyu. Old Xiao also had a much more friendly demeanor, more in line with the
his face is like smaller too.
Deity. He used to have a very red-centric color palette, but it was later decided that it didn't align well with his character. In his current design, his white shirt represents the godlessness of the Adepti, and the green mirrors his animo vision. Meanwhile, the dark colors on the lower body represent...
Also, I don't want him to take a show because I don't want him to be cold.
The
you know, I feel bad if he's cold.
Can also be seen in Xiao's abilities, which contain a vibrant green as well as black particles. Although Xiao has the appearance of a young man, he is actually over 2,000 years old. To incorporate this into his visual design, he was given jade jewelry to bring a sense of longevity
Very
and mystery.
sick. Very small
Chinese
detail.
Culture, jade symbolizes prosperity, success, good luck, and immortality. To go back to the original idea of beauty, Xiao was given modern-looking clothing, especially on his upper body. Usually, immortals are imagined to wear long, flowing robes with wide sleeves, and they move very reservedly. This clashed with Xiao's identity of a fleet-footed polearm user, especially because the excessive use of flowing clothing could cause clipping within the 3D model. To compromise, Xiao's garments were made close-fitting and short-sleeved. He was also given items with
like that's like
such as a sensor
muscle
and a
top,
body.
right? You know, and looks good on him.
His clothing was also patterned with imagery of clouds to give him a sense of antiquity. This overall struck a balance between practicality and ethereality. Xiao's mask is inspired by the masks traditionally used in exorcism rituals
That's
within
so
the Nuo
cool.
folk region. As you can see, elements like the horns, imposing eyes, bare teeth, and large nose were carried over. Xiao's version was given additional details like the center eye representing omniscience and flame-like patterns to give an imposing impression. Overall, it is another physical representation of Xiao's personality, solemn and mysterious, yet menacing. The third and last part talks about the animation and debugging process written by Xiao Long. He states that a main goal of the Genshin Impact animation team has always been to provide players with an animation experience as smooth as a movie. Thus,
I always said
dedicate
that
lots
Xiao was
time
kind
and
of a Toy
resources
Story
into
type
making
character.
movements as natural and polished as possible.
What's the purple
see the
thing
fruits of
hanging
the
around
labor
him? Like, what is that?
and how even if you input
Oh, the pink
sporadic
thing.
movements, your character doesn't move abruptly.
If it's a spoiler, you don't have to
For
tell me, but
characters, it is the animation team's job to bring the idea of them to life. As a Liyue character, the classic idea of a martial arts hero came to mind, and while they would be taking elements from there, they did not want to limit themselves to using only real-life inspirations, seeing that Xiao is not a mere human. The third hit of Xiao's basic attack combo shows him doing a sideways somersault. Normally, if a person were to do this, their legs would have to bend in order to absorb.
But
the
he's
force of
too hot
landing.
for it.
Xiao, however,
He's so
lands in a
hot right
soft but
now.
steady way, similar to what is commonly seen in traditional Chinese martial arts movies. This is further adopted
That's
in the
so
animation for his elemental
cool.
skill. When
This
used
is
on
a
the
great
ground, he
video.
lands with a smooth slide. When used in the air, Xiao finishes with a subtle twirl. To make these animations look as polished as possible, motion simulation was used to find the proper clothing placements, and every frame was scrutinized to look good while conveying explosive energy and speed. Xiao's first idle animation represents how, despite constantly feeling remorse and regret, Xiao will always put on his mask in order to protect Liyue. In his second animation, Xiao is intrigued by a glowing light, but when he tries to reach out to
No.
it feels from him. His facial expression subtly
Yeah,
but
look-
effectively conveys how
Look at that.
dejected
No, we
he feels.
can't linger on it for too long. It's gonna make me
To
cry.
achieve this level of high-quality animation, the animation team uses advanced
Oh,
optical
that's
motion
sick.
capture technology. This section is ended off with a statement saying how the animation team is currently researching and developing character animation styles for future regions. I'm so incredibly excited to see what inspirations they will draw from and how creative they will continue to be. A month ago when I made the video, What Goes into Creating a Genshin Impact Character, I mentioned that there was probably a lot more to it than we knew about, and this article just proves it. I have huge respect for the development team for being so passionate about their work, and I really hope they continue to post more developer insights like these. This one was actually the 4th entry though, so if you would like to see videos
No,
presenting
this is
the information
fantastic.
from
This is
those,
fantastic.
please
Thank you so
consider
much.
subscribing. As always, thank you for watching.
Thank you so much for that. It's an ad for If Way actually looks like a good movie. Actually, it looks fun. That was so sick. That made my day, and it made me like Xiao even more.